Hello my friends and welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel. The channel where I like to show the properties for sale in the Italian market. In each video I select a property in a different town in one of the 20 beautiful regions of Italy. Alright my friends, so let's start today's video. Let's introduce you this property. Let me introduce you this property. And today I bring you to Abruzzo region. Okay, Abruzzo region, Pescara province. Now, following yesterday's video, where I show you the cheapest properties for sale in Pescara region, today, as Saturday, the following day, I'm showing you one of the properties that I have selected, one of these inexpensive properties that I found in Pescara province. Okay, so let's start and let me introduce you the property. Now, we are talking about a detached house for sale in via Giuseppe Mazzini number 8, numero 8, and we are in a town not very small called Popoli, Popoli Terme. Now, we are talking about a town around 4,500, 5,000 inhabitants, so not very small town in Abruzzo region, Pescara province. The asking price is 25,000 euro, all right, which is under the 35,000 euro that I set as a maximum budget, all right, for this province. And so the size of the property is 95 square meters and 3 rooms. But anyway, we will investigate very soon the pictures and the description of this property for sale in Pescara province, Abruzzo region. Okay, let's go here on Google Maps as usual to show you anyway where the property is. Now, as I said already, we are in Pescara province, all right. So we are just in the middle of Abruzzo region, I'd say in between the mountains and the seaside. Then, good to notice that we are on the main route that drives from Avezzano down to Pescara. So I'd say it should be quite easily to commute from this town down to Pescara and Chieti. So we are not very far. And as I said, we are not very far from Sulmona. Actually, Sulmona, another beautiful town here in Abruzzo region, and also not very far from Roccaraso ski slopes. Now, Roccaraso is one of the main destinations for the ski lovers in the south of Italy and in Abruzzo region. Then, if we go to the inner part of the region, we find another quite big town called Avezzano, but we are in L'Aquila province. Here we are in Pescara province, which is bordering northern direction with Teramo province, southern direction with Chieti province, and let's say western direction to L'Aquila province. Okay, let's zoom in a bit more, simply to show you Popoli town, Popoli Terme. Okay, so basically we are already in a town that offers all type of services and amenities. All right. So basically we see here, this is the town. And as I said, anyway, easily commuting down to Pescara, simply because we have we are in one of the main routes that is driving to the seaside direction. Then, as we see, Popoli has a hospital, so basically we have all type of services that in a town of 5,000 inhabitants we might need. Let's go back here simply to show you on Idealista. Basically, this is my search for yesterday's video, the one of the cheapest properties that I found in Pescara province, 126, where I've selected a certain amount of filters like maximum 60,000 euro, only houses, no auction properties, and in good condition. Now, As I said yesterday in yesterday videos, you can find yesterday's video under the description, here under the video, here in the description. Very hard to find good, decent property under 35. The one that I found today for 25 is interesting enough. Then you will also find under the description of this video, you will also find the link here if you are curious, anyway, to investigate the 126 houses for sale that I found under 60,000 euro. Okay, let's go back to our property, to today's property. And anyway, before I go and I read the description, please put like and subscribe if you like this type of contents. It helps my channel to grow, it increases the visibility, and anyway, it's helpful towards me, which I'm trying anyway to let the channel grow. All right, let's go to the property description. Let's start reading. Okay. Popoli. Popoli Terme. Now it changed the name in Popoli Terme, also famous for the spa. Anyway, we offer in the historic center of the town an independent solution with a private entrance comprising a kitchen, bathroom and storage room. These on the ground floor. An internal staircase leads to the second floor with 2 bedrooms and a hallway. Now we are talking about not very big property, 95 square meters, so I'd say anyway 1100 square feet, let's say. Okay, so ground floor, private entrance, kitchen, bathroom and storage room. An internal staircase leads to the second floor with 2 bedrooms and a hallway. The property is completed by a convenient attic that serves as a warehouse for the entire property. So probably the attic is not a livable space. In the cadastral plan, is not recorded as a livable space, but just as a storage place. Now, the solution is characterized by its historical significance, significance, and is located in the heart of the town center. Nearby are the Popoli thermal baths, okay, which are quite famous, as well as all the main services. The town is located just 40 minutes from the Abruzzo coast, so down to Pescara, while nearby we find the historic center of Sulmona, famous for its antiquity and for being the city of confetti. Confetti are these typical sweets that in Italy, anyway, we use mainly for the weddings, a product envied worldwide. Surrounded by the Abruzzese mountains, it also represents an important destination for mountain hiking enthusiasts. Half an hour drive away is the historic ski resort of Roccaraso, as I said before. An ideal solution as a second home and also for those who love to live in a quiet setting away from the noise of the city. So yes, I'd say mainly I see the best potential as a second home or anyway also as an investment for short-term rental, even if this property can also be rented for a long-term rental, but also maybe a solution for someone who wants to live all the year around without compromising a huge budget. All right, let's go just to investigate the last thing, the price per square meter, before we dive into the pictures. So the price per square meter is 263 euro, which is under 300, and whatever is under 300. And if it's in a good condition, I consider a very good deal. Okay. All right. Let's go finally into the pictures. Let's enter. Okay, we are in a small street. Anyway, we are in a kind of narrow street. We are in the historical part of the town. So we have few steps here, uh, not steepy steps anyway, easy, quite accessible. And so anyway, we have good amount of pictures, so I'll try to go quite fast, let's say. Okay, let's go back to understand. So here they have a picture of the street. We cannot identify the property from here. Now here they're showing the main entrance door. Historical wooden door. Okay. Then obviously the perspective here is not really helpful. All I can say is that the building overall is in a good condition. Looks like the facade has been recently renovated. Okay, now here we are inside the house. If we understand the size and the shape of the property, now they said there is kitchen on the ground floor, kitchen dining area. So this is the space of the kitchen dining area. Anyway, let's move simply because anyway, there are few pictures of the property here. I would start saying that anyway, there is a new gas boiler, okay, which it costs around 1,500, 2,000 euro only the gas boiler. I see because I see the filter, so it means it's already a condensation gas boiler, okay, which is a new generation of gas boilers, which I've also personally installed in the house where I live. Then I see the radiators. Okay, so here we are in this kitchen. Okay, there are only appliances. I don't see any sort of furniture. Not very big space, but anyway, we have a window. Cozy space, anyway. Let's see. Okay, now here we are in one of the bedrooms. I guess we can call this the master bedroom. All right. And I'd say it's a quite spacious bedroom. Now, the only thing at the moment, if I have to judge the weakest point of this property, by what I've seen anyway, I see everything in order. We are talking only about 25,000 euro, but the floor tiles are a bit old. Nothing special, nothing really stylish. The cheapest version of the 60s, late 60s of Cementina tiles. These were the cheapest version. Even if nowadays people are trying to recover these type of old tiles. Okay, there is a kind of fashion nowadays to go back to these old styles of tiles. Anyway, spacious bedroom. Now here, by this picture, I would say a bit dark. Okay, probably they have all the window closed. Okay, now here we are. This is an interesting room because I don't understand if this is a living room on the ground floor or if it is considered as the second bedroom on the first floor. Because anyway, the description of the property said kitchen, bathroom on the ground floor and two bedrooms and two bedrooms on the first floor. Then there is an attic, but okay, let's say for me, we are on the first floor here. Okay, so I'd say this is what they call the second bedroom and is used as a living area. Technically, I would use it the same. If I have only the kitchen on the ground floor, I would make a second room upstairs on the first floor as a not as a second bedroom, but I would use it as a living room. Okay, now here we have the main entrance door. This is the property. Now by here I can say that the facade was recently renovated. All right, so they have invested some money. I see the sign, the pink sign under the window, which is property for sale. And the roof, I'd say, if I have to judge from here, I have to say that also the roof was recently renovated. Okay, now we are back into the kitchen. Electrical system in a good order. Okay, so we enter, we have the entrance behind who took the picture. Okay, so basically from this picture, we can foresee, they also said storage room on the ground floor, which for now I haven't seen. Then anyway, I see new radiator, so the heating system was upgraded recently. I think they're only trying to get the money back for what they invest to renovate the property. Basically, between the heating system, the gas boiler, the facade, and the roof, I'd say they probably spent around 20,000 euro. So for me, in this property, they are simply trying to get the money back of what they invest to renovate the property. Then we haven't seen the bathroom yet, but okay, so here we have the main entrance door. All right, so this is the street. Here we have the bathroom. Okay, so basically we have a little corridor. Anyway, dining space. Then we see the steps leading to the first floor, the bathroom. Anyway, the floor tiles is the only thing that they didn't invest any money here. Maybe they went over the budget and they decided to keep the old tiles, which anyway is fine. Then we have anyway a big fireplace. I saw two fireplaces, one here on the ground floor and one in the second bedroom on the first floor. Okay, we have window here on the side of the house because let's go back one second. From here, I see the hob and the washing machine, let's say. So it means that on the right of this wall, there should be a window. Exactly. So here we have a window. So the house looks like it's free on three sides. I don't know. From this side, this is not the front side because the front is here and the window is on the right. So looks like this house is free on three sides, but let's see if we can understand better. Still in the kitchen living area, kitchen, let's say more kitchen dining area. Then it looks like behind this curtain there is a storage place. Okay. Obviously not extremely big. That's why this could be a perfect, let's say, holiday home or short-term rental for people who there is tourism in this area, so there are people who might be interested anyway to rent this property. So here we see the thermostat for the heating system, and here the bathroom, small bathroom, but it looks also the bathroom anyway, kind of renovated quite recently. Now, not very big. I'd say up to now, I have to say in particular the daytime area. So the kitchen, the dining area, and the bathrooms are a tiny bit small. Anyway, I see the radiator. So I might say might not be the perfect place to live all the year around, let's say. I could see perfectly as a holiday home, this one. Let's say 40, 50 minutes down to drive to the seaside, which is not a long distance. So then here we have the door leading to the first floor. Electrical system looks decent, not newest, but okay. Here we have the stairs leading to the first floor where we have the two rooms, the two bedrooms, that's what they're saying. Bit dark, I have to say. Let's investigate a bit better. it seems like they took the pictures with all the windows closed. Okay, so here we have, anyway, a spacious bedroom. I'd say on the right we have a window. And also there is another room at the end here with another window. Okay. Anyway, spacious bedroom. You see here they decided to keep the curtains and the blinds and the shutters, everything closed. Simply, I don't understand why. New radiator here, I see. Anyway, the bedroom is the best thing I've seen up to now. Okay, so basically, okay, now I understand a bit better. Now we see here there is the corridor. Now we have a door here, which is the door that is leading to the attic. Then, if we see this door from the right of this door, we have the stairs leading to the first floor. So where we have this dark corridor, okay, and then we can access the living area, the first bedroom, let's say the living area, which I would call the living area, from the first door. Then we have, if we keep walking the corridor, we have the door that is leading to the bedroom, to the master bedroom, which is also commute by an internal door from the living room. Okay, so basically the bedroom, you can access to the bedrooms from the corridor and from the living area. Anyway, the structure of the property is in a good condition. So here we have the door for the bedroom door. This is the bedroom door. Then I see another door at the very end, which I don't understand. I don't think is the door leading to the attic, but I think could be just a storage room, little storage room. Okay, yeah, so here we are just after the stairs, and we see the first door, which is leading to the living area, and the second door to the bedroom. Okay, then here we have the stairs leading to the attic. Okay, now the attic, as we see, is not really a livable space because I don't see a very high ceiling. We have window. Anyway, we have windows, so we have natural light. Then I see that the roof was renovated recently, simply because they installed even this bar for the structure. So the house went through serious renovations. Then anyway, this area is used as a storage room. Also, this side of the attic used as a storage room with okay, here we have wooden beam ceiling. The other part has been plastered, okay, with a skylight window. So also here we have natural light. Anyway, interesting storage space, let's say. Here we are back on the first floor, on the ground floor, sorry, with the bathroom, stairs. Okay, the stairs, which are leading to the first floor. Okay, so possible that the house has two main entrances, one for the ground floor. So yes, the door on the left is the entrance of the living room, of the dining area. Then we have the small window of the bathroom. And then here we have the stairs, which are internally connected. Anyway, so we can access to the first floor also by the second entrance. And then, yes, the property is free on the three sides, because between this window and the next building there is a gap. That's why the kitchen had the window from this gate here that we see. Yeah, as we see here, we have a gate. So the kitchen window is facing the left, the gate direction. And the entrance is 5, and here the entrance is 7. But anyway, the stairs are internally connected to reach the first floor. Okay. Okay, so this is the property. Anyway, overall, I have to say that it's a property that has been partially renovated. Again, if I consider the roof, the facade, the doors in a very good condition, the gas boiler, the heating system, I'd say they spent at least 20,000 euro to renovate. And here, anyway, they're showing some pictures of Popoli, this town. Obviously, we are in the old part of the town. Here, for example, we can see better, there are not many steps from the main road to reach the property. Okay, this is probably from down the road, and we'll find the property on the left. Okay. We see that is not very far anyway from the main road. I count maybe 12, 15 steps, and these are not steep steps. Okay, then some pictures here. Let's see 1 second the floor map, even if it's a bit unclear. Okay, so yes, basically yes. Then piano seconda. So here at the bottom we have the attic, first floor with the 2 rooms, and the ground floor with the kitchen, bathroom, storage room, and the stairs which are leading to the first floor, connected internally. So the property, the 2 floors are internally connected, and 2 separate entrances. Okay, my friends, so basically the property is in the center, in Popoli center. Looks like there is a railway, hospital, gym, castle, restaurants, bars, what else? So we are in the central part of Popoli, B&B, so we have anyway good amount as well of B&Bs. It's an attractive area, and the good thing is that it's not a very small town. Okay, my friends, so now finally we can go back to Google Maps simply to understand the nearest location, let's say the main distances to the main locations around the area. So I would start from Sulmone. Anyway, first to say that this town here, anyway, it's 5,000 inhabitants, but big enough so to have all type of services. So but let's say we want to drive to bigger towns or anyway to other destinations, Sulmona is only 19 minutes driving. So it's in a very short distance, under 20 minutes. Okay. Now here we have Sulmona. Now it's not showing me the route here. Okay, finally. So 19 minutes and we reach Sulmona. Okay, which anyway is a beautiful town, historic, medieval town. A lot of expats are looking for these properties in this beautiful town. Let's see now the ski slopes, Rocca Raso. So if we want to go to the ski resort, ski slopes destination, 49 minutes. So in less than 1 hour, we already reach the ski slopes. All right. Then we have beautiful towns as Pescasseroli, and anyway, many other beautiful destinations. Okay, now let's drive towards the seaside direction. Now I see Chieti is much closer than Pescara. I mean, it's closer than Pescara. 38 minutes we are in Chieti. So if we need big city, is already in less than 40 minutes driving, 42 kilometers, very convenient road. Anyway, as we see, Popoli is just on the route to the sea direction. Then let's see Pescara, how far we are from Pescara. 43 minutes, very short distance. So in 45 minutes we are already on the sea. Montesilvano, Francavilla al Mare, beautiful seaside destinations. All right. Then what else can we check? I think these are the main locations. I'd say we can just have a quick look to Rome to see how far we are from Rome. 1 hour and 56 minutes. So in less than 2 hours, we are already in Rome, which is short distance. Probably we are in the route of the motorway from Pescara to Rome. That's why for such a distance, it takes only 1 hour and 56 minutes. Okay, and now to close the video, let's just zoom in and let's investigate a bit of Google Street View, simply to understand. So there is railway, okay. I see the train station here. So we have train station, which probably drives you to Rome as well. Anyway, we have a river, we have a lovely town. Say that anyway, this town is famous for the spa resort, which anyway, I wasn't very familiar with that, but anyway. So Via Giuseppe Mazzini, so that's the road. Let's try to drive a bit inside this road. Okay, so this is Via Giuseppe Mazzini. Let's have a look around. Here I see many houses are doing some renovation works. From here, anyway, there should be the steps which are leading to the property. So from this road, okay, now I don't know exactly, doesn't look like this one, but anyway, we are in the historical part of the town. Okay, here we have these little alleys. Anyway, many properties, as many properties in the historical towns, are in need of major works. That's why we might see, anyway, many houses not in a very good condition, simply because maybe sellers or owners don't want to invest money. As I said, the property that I've just showed you, probably they spent a good amount of money to renovate and to bring to the market, because without renovation, without that level, let's say with new roof, with gas boiler, with heating system, that house probably they should have given it for 1,000 or 2,000 euro. And probably many houses which are not in a good condition, like this one, the owners pretend to not sell for very low price. Also because the renovation costs, anyway, are not very cheap. Okay, so basically now I just want to have a look. Beautiful historic houses, but anyway, I see they are in need of renovation. Here they're selling. It's an interesting town, okay, with good potential. Depends, by many factors, in particular, to understand in the future. If we are optimistic, we might say, okay, good amount of people will move in the future to these small towns, which is my forecast. I know I might sound crazy, but I think there will be a trend where people will leave the big cities. Then you may say, okay, job, we need to be creative. And anyway, there are jobs in this area. Anyway, if someone wants to work, okay, anyway, we have a beautiful historic square, okay, with a fountain in the middle. Let's drive a bit this way. Come on. Why it's not allowing me? Here they have open market, as you see, so there is open market. Can't go in this road, why? Okay, finally. Just to understand, anyway, there are shops, closed shops. Obviously, at the moment, the situation in these towns are not really the best, but as I say, all Italy is not really in a very good situation at the moment. We have fishmonger here, jeweler. Jewelers are never missing, even in the smallest towns. And then anyway, hairdressers, grocery shops, barbers. Anyway, it's a beautiful town, beautiful town. Banks. I'd say there could be a future for the south of Italy, which I believe there will be, due to the situation in the world, which is not really fantastic at the moment. Maybe people may decide to move to these areas. All right, my friends, albergo. So this used to be a hotel a long time ago. Okay, my friend, and it's for sale, vendesi. They're selling the entire building here, historic building. Okay, my friends, from the beautiful Popoli, I wish you a lovely day, and I'll see you here tomorrow for another video on Italy, a Place to Love YouTube channel. Bye!